Um, okay, welcome volunteers. Thank you so much for being here and joining us for this recording. We're going to be talking about our upcoming Warrendale Shot Clinic on Saturday. So take your time going through this, review anything that you need to. You also will be receiving a run of show very shortly that will include additional details about when to be there, where to park. We can talk a little bit about that right now. But that piece of paper is going to be your best friend. It's going to have this map. It's going to have your position, everything that you need. So the first thing that we want to do is, I guess I'll just tell you real quick a little bit about what One Health is. We are providing low-cost vaccines and medical care to people in the community that need it. This is a walk-up opportunity, so it's been promoted out in the community, and people will just be arriving with their pets for whatever services that they need that we can provide them for that day. You guys will be helping in quite a few different positions, as you can see on the screen. There's going to be a lot that we're going to walk through. So I do have a list of where we would like to put everyone. Does not necessarily mean that's where you will stay. We might need to move some people around. So thank you in advance for being flexible and being able to work with us. I promise every role is going to be extremely important for us to service the animals that we would like to on Saturday. I believe, Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, that we are looking to do 200 at this, 200 animals?
It's 200 animals.
Okay. We are looking to service 200 animals, individual animals. So there may be a point, depending on how busy we are, that we need to stop and ask people to come to the next One Health. But we'll let you guys know that when we're working on this. So if you can see my little cursor here, I'm going to kind of walk us through the steps and the different positions of volunteers at each step. And then we'll kind of talk a little bit about what those volunteers are going to be doing at each spot. So first and foremost, there is guest parking. This is specifically for guests in this area right here. We do have staff and volunteer parking over here on Granville Avenue. Once this is filled, it's a pretty long street, so we should be okay for quite a while, especially when you guys get there early. But if necessary, we can park down the other streets as well. But this one's kind of the one that we're planning to be on right here. If you arrive and you don't know where to go, there will be staff walking around, so just flag somebody down and we'll tell you where to park. But there is guest parking here. They're going to come in the end over here, park anywhere they would like, and we will have a couple volunteers in this space, so there's two right here that will be helping with some parking, but also helping direct guests to where they need to go. The main space that they're going to be needing to walk is down this sidewalk here and up to our welcome tent up at the corner where that 4 is. We're going to have volunteers checking in here. Before I get to that, though, I'd like to talk a little bit more about my guest parking volunteers that are going to be helping out here. There is a driveway here and here, but we're just going to make sure so these volunteers can help make sure that people don't pull in here. It is going to be blocked off, but people just might see it. They'll see all of the tents and things that we're going to have, and they might come in and have questions. So these volunteers helping here will help direct them down to the correct entrance, as well as maybe answer some questions. Some of the things that you might get include like, what are you guys doing here? Or can I bring my animal? And they most certainly can. If they live nearby and they want to come back, that's completely fine. But you're going to just get some general questions because people are going to see us out here and they're going to wonder what they can do. We're also going to be giving volunteers walkies. So if you get a question that you're not familiar with, please just walkie myself or Jen. We will be on site with you guys. So you can just ask questions. And that goes for most of our volunteers. We don't have walkies for each individual volunteer, but each area will have at least a walkie so that you guys can talk to us. So that's the main area that you guys are going to be sending people. We don't really want them to go over here into our partner area until they've received their services if we can. So that's why we want to direct them over here. Because really what they're going to do is they're going to come up to the welcome tent, go to payment, get their services in here, come back out, and then at the end they can go and see all the fun stuff with our partners over here, get food and whatnot. This 4 right over here, we have some volunteers helping with surveys. So while people are waiting in line or they're moving about, they might be over here. It kind of just depends on where it's going to be best for you guys to stand and hang out. But we're going to be doing some surveys with our guests, just asking them just some general questions, like where they live, how they heard about us, things like that. There's only 6 questions on there, and you're going to be helping out just making that part of the process for everybody. They'll do their filling out their paperwork, they'll do their payment, and they'll do their survey. It is an optional survey, so they're not required to do it, but we're just going to ask them like it's part of the steps that they're doing. So we'll just let them know that this is the next thing that we would like them to do before they go to their services.
So do you mind if I add something there?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have you kind of hanging out in that line there because depending on the time of day or how much foot traffic we have, if there's a lineup for waiting for people waiting to come to the welcome tent, that's where we're going to have them fill out the surveys. But say there's no line and people are just moving straight from the welcome tent over to payment tent, that's probably the second place that we might have volunteers with survey. So again, once they either fill out their paperwork at the welcome tent or the payment tent, that could be where we're saying, okay, we're going to step right over to the volunteer here. They're just going to have a couple of questions they're going to ask you on the tablet that we're going to have you fill out, and then we'll move you on to the next station. So that's kind of what we're looking like there, that again, the guest think it's part of the process. That way we can capture as much data as possible. If there is that long line on the walkway, that's where we'll have the volunteer station. So if you are someone who is on survey duty, just let you know, we might need to flex you or move you around. It really just depends on how busy the event is and how quickly the flow of people moving through the lines in the process happen to be that day.
Thank you, Jen. So like we said, these guys might move around a little bit. Next step here is going to be the welcome tent. So that's just where people are going to walk up and fill out their paperwork. We are going to assist them with filling out their paperwork. We've had some issues sometimes with handwriting and things. So if you don't have great handwriting, let me know. But we would just like to make sure that these are legible so that we can fill them in. We have to type all of this into a program afterwards. So we want to make sure that we have the correct information that we're inputting for these people, just in case we need to contact them for anything later. So you guys will be helping them fill that out here. That'll also help with the issue of having to hold multiple animals while they're trying to fill out paperwork. Carry carriers, anything like that. So it'll make it just much easier for our volunteers at this tent to help fill those out for people. We will have clipboards and things in case people need to move away from that tent to fill out for any reason. If their dog is not okay being next to another dog or anything like that, we will have those to help with that process. Once they're done filling out their paperwork, they're going to move down the sidewalk here and over to this tent that says payment. I know it's a little hard to see, but the blue right here that says payment. We'll have a couple volunteers stationed over here to, again, help with some paperwork or help hold animals if there's more, because if they have questions about which vaccines that they need and the volunteers at the welcome tent can't help answer those, we're going to go ahead and send them to the payment tent so that the staff that are there taking payment can help answer those questions. They may not fully know what vaccinations or services that they need. So those people can help. And those volunteers that are helping out at the payment tent can help hold their animals or anything that needs to be taken care of in that space. And that could be a little bit of a spot for a holdup. So that's just another reason to help have some volunteers putting out water for dogs or anything that we might need to step in and help with while they're waiting. The next area here is actually going inside this building. So we have all of these 1, 2, 3s here are going to be the tables that we're actually providing services on. And then there's a divider that we've put up, and then there's a seating area that's kind of like the waiting space. It's pretty big. It doesn't look that big on here, but it's like a gymnasium. So it's pretty big. So animals can sit down, they can spread out. We will have 2 volunteers helping in this area. You're mainly going to be just assisting our staff that are helping in there if they need you to get the next client, if they need you to like help hold an animal while you're in there, if you need to help direct the guest to the bathroom. There's a hallway down here. A lot of times people go just straight down that hallway when they should go this way. So you're kind of help guiding them into the correct location. So really just general like customer service and helping in that space. And we're, like I said, we're gonna have 2 volunteers in there. Once they're done receiving their services here, they're gonna come out this way, and there will be 2 volunteers kind of stationed in and out of this little space here, again, just to make sure that they're going out the right way and not through the rest of the building. Knowing if they need to get to the bathroom, if they need someone to hold their dog while they go to the bathroom, something like that. And then helping direct them to our partners here, like making sure, hey, did you stop and see our partners? Make sure you do that on your way out. We also have food that you can take with you. Just being a friendly face and helping guide them through the different process here. Um, and I know it's hard to read, but we do have our partners listed on here. So you can kind of get an idea of who might be over here. They're going to be able to handle their tent spaces on their own, but we do have these 4-ish volunteers that are going to be helping over here. If anybody from our partners needs a bathroom break, if they need some water, if they just need general help, or if people have questions that those people can't answer about Michigan Humane or something, you guys can always help with that. One of these, though, if you can see here, is Petco Love. And that's actually going to be ran by volunteers. We're going to have some flyers. We're going to show you, it's pretty easy, but we're going to show you how people can actually sign up to be part of Petco Love. Petco Love is a program for lost pets. It's like a huge database where people can post animals that they found as well as post if they have lost their animal. So it's kind of just a really easy way for people to sign up and be a part of something like that. Just in case anything ever happens to their animal, they know where they can look and people can share if they found an animal. So we'll have a volunteer, at least one station there, maybe two, just depending on the need, to help talk about that, pass out some information, help them fill out scan the QR and fill out the paperwork if they would like to do it on site. That's a partnership that we're going to be running ourselves. And then that's this 4 that are helping in this partner area. Then we also have Pet Pantry. If you're familiar with our events for the community, we usually have a pet pantry with lots of food, dogs and cats usually, that we just give away to the community. So we're providing these services. We're also providing food services. So if anybody needs it, we're going to load it up for them and take it to their vehicle. We will have, I think, at least one cart that we can help move them to your cars or their cars. So if you would like to help with that, or if you'd like to carry it and you want to get your workout for the day, that's fine too. We'll have a couple volunteers. I believe we actually have 3 volunteers here, so we might move somebody if we don't need that many. But should be a lot of fun. Usually people are really thankful for that, and they're really, just happy that they're able to get this great food from us. They might ask questions about the pantry. We will have a member of our staff from our pantry here, so if you get questions that you're unfamiliar with, they'll be able to help. But we'll have some flyers and things available there as well for people who would like to come to our pantry on a regular basis and help get themselves some food.
Yeah, I just want to add a couple of things. There will be a community solutions staff member working there. Lawrence will be at the pet pantry food distribution tent. So he'll be able to help answer any additional questions as well as bring those flyers so we can hand them out. And then Maggie, our community advocates manager, along with 2 of her team members, Brianna and Mary, will also be in the partner area, helping check in on the partners, making sure they don't need anything, helping them with setup in the morning. So if you're one of the volunteers in that area, you could be helping with those duties as well. So kind of just, again, general event support, whatever is needed. It's all going to be heavy customer service focused, holding leashes, pointing guests in the right direction, just making sure things run smoothly. And again, thank you for being willing to move around and float if you need it, because it's really going to just depend on the foot traffic and how busy we are and what comes at us, right? So we'll be kind of adjusting as we see those needs.
The last area that I do just want to touch on real quick, I know this won't apply to everyone, but we do have an area down here in the corner. Oops, sorry about my screen here. We do have an area down here in the corner for reactive animals as well as cats. So one of the things that our volunteers who are doing this guest parking welcome area that can really help us with, as well as our welcome people if they're walking straight up to the welcome tent, is looking for those people who have cats or dogs that seem like they're really struggling. So if they're really, really freaking out, the person handling them is having a hard time. we're worried they're going to get away or they're reactive to other dogs or something like that, we can suggest that they go down to the reactive animals tent. We will have members of behavior helping with this as well. But we do have a volunteer who has worked this area before helping here. But we will also have two volunteers helping with a check-in here. So providing that same service that they would up at the welcome tent, helping them fill out their paperwork so that their animals can get through faster than waiting in line and moving through a lot of parts of the building with lots of other animals. If they're struggling, we want to get them done and get them out. So this is the place that we can send that. And as well, if you are noticing that like something is really kind of freaking you out and you're thinking maybe that dog should move out of the way, please walkie one of us, just let us know so that we can help make sure that we get them to the correct area, and get them out of this space that might be stressing them out a lot. Um, the last thing that I want to mention is oftentimes at one of these One Health events, we have people bring whole litters of puppies with them, which is wonderful and adorable, but they're another group that we would like to move quickly through, as well as not have all the puppies come out and be, with all the other dogs and potentially having an issue with that. So one of the things that we would like for you guys to do is if you notice that someone comes up and tells you that they have a bunch of puppies, or they show you that they have a bunch of puppies, we're going to have you walkie myself or Jen so that we can actually walkie our team and have them go help them. We've helped them just like at their car before. So it's much easier to just do whatever vaccines and things that those puppies need right in that space without having to get them out, and get them exposed to other things and get them out of there. So if you notice that there's puppies coming through, like puppies, litters of puppies, even if you're not sure if it's the right kind of puppies, just ask, walkie one of us and ask, and we'll let you know. We'll deal with staff so that we can get that taken care of.
I think the important thing to know is we're going to be fast tracking them. So before we would just put them in line as they came with everyone else. But what we want to do is anybody with a litter of puppies, we will be fast tracking anybody with limited mobility. So if you notice someone can't maybe walk the footprint, this is a pretty large footprint that we're asking guests to kind of move around in our process to receive their services. If you see that too, please radio for Ashley or I. We will contact the right staff so we can get the people up and out and receiving services with as little stress to them or their animals as possible.
I keep saying the last thing, but there's one more thing actually. The other thing that you can walkie us for, you can walkie us for anything you need, but one of the other main things that we would like to, not just us, you can actually walkie across, but if you have somebody who needs bilingual support, we will have some volunteers with us that speak Spanish that will be able to assist with anybody who needs Spanish assistance. This is just something that we would like to have available for our community. So if you have someone who's struggling with that, just call on the walkie and say that you need bilingual support at the welcome tent. And we have volunteers that are in places where they can move easily so that they can come and help with that if necessary. Okay. Oh, Jen, were you going to say something? I saw you come off mute.
I was just going to say that's great. Yeah, someone to help translate if we have someone who doesn't speak English very well, specifically Spanish speaking volunteers. So thank you guys for doing that and joining us.
Fantastic. All right, so the last section that I want to go through here is actually our positions for our volunteers. I know we talked about what they are, but we actually have you grouped into these positions already. So I want to make sure that you take a look at this. Let me get my little, I know you guys can't see it, but my like bar is here and it's in the way for me to see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. No. So these are all the positions. Like I said, they might move a little bit if we need to adjust. We don't have every single position filled, so we probably will need to move one or two of you. But we do have you all in your locations. So welcome tent, we have 4 volunteers. Surveys, we have 4 volunteers. Payment tent, we have 2 volunteers. Inside the vet queue, so that's inside the building. We have 2 volunteers helping there. Directing outside, currently we have 1. Thank you, Matt. We might need to add somebody else depending on the need. Partner alley, we have 4 volunteers. Parking and directing, we have 2. Food distribution, we currently have 3. This is another area we might need to move somebody if necessary. Reactive check-in, we have 2 volunteers, and then reactive dog support. Thank you, Randy, for assisting with that. Like I said, this might change. If you have a concern about your role, please just reach out to me beforehand, and I can help with that if we have the ability to. I know there's a lot of moving around and things like that. So if you have any limitations that you're concerned about, please just let me know. This will be sent out in your run of show as well. So you don't have to remember right here, right now, what your location is. It'll be sent out with the run of show, and we'll have a couple printed copies of that run of show too that has like FAQs and stuff on it. So just in case during the event you forget something or you have questions about something, we'll have that available the day of as well.
I just want to add to this. We do have a couple other staff members in areas where volunteers are working, so you guys will have a main point. So if you can't reach Ashley or I, there are people to assist. We will also add that to this list. So if you are working in an area, you know who your point is. But the welcome tent, mm, I you know what? I'm not going to say it. I think I have the staff member's name memorized, but I don't want to say the wrong name and confuse anyone. So I'll wait until after this recording. We'll add it to the list and we'll make sure to send it out with the run of show. And then when you guys all arrive for the event, we will introduce you to who your point is. They're the ones going to actually be giving you instructions in more detail for your particular spot or the role that you're working in. And then Ashley, can you confirm? I know we're going to do it on the run of show, but what is the actual time that we need volunteers in their positions versus the time that we'd like them to arrive to make sure they have enough time to get debriefed and prepped for the jobs that they'll be doing?
Yeah, if you guys could at least get there 30 minutes ahead of time, so 9:30 to actually arrive at the event so that we can make sure that we have you in your spots with your person who's guiding you, giving you that direction and making sure that you're ready to go by 10 o'clock so that we can get started really on time. You're more than welcome to arrive a little bit earlier than that. We will be there. So, but at least 9:30, please just try to make sure that you're on the grounds, parked, ready to go by 9:30 so we can get you in your spots right away. Um,
Ashley, what's the main meeting location for everybody? Like, what's the central location that we're meeting and then helping people get to where they need to go?
I think the easiest place to be is going to be at that welcome tent. So let me go back to because this area is probably going to be pretty packed with vendor or not vendors, but partners setting up. And then our staff is going to be kind of in this space. So if you guys could meet us up here at the welcome tent, that would be lovely. I know it's a little bit of a hike up there, but that's going to help make sure that everybody can gather. And once everybody's ready, then we'll spread you out and get you to your spaces that you need. I'll put a star on the map too for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you. This is normally you would say, does anybody have any questions? But we're just recording to share this with the group. So if you watch this and have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out or ask us ahead of time. And like Ashley said, we're planning to get there early. I'll be there as early as 9 o'clock. So if you are a person who likes to arrive early and make sure you know what you're doing, where you're going, that would be the earliest you could arrive. So somewhere between 9 and 9:30. So that way we can have you all briefed and ready to go, bathroom breaks, all that, and in your station to go at 10 a.m.
Not sure
Anything
what
else
the
you want to add?
weather is
Oh,
going to be
go ahead.
like. Sorry. I know I think somebody said that it was going to be warm next week, but Saturday, I'm not quite sure where that falls. So just be prepared. Definitely wear your volunteer shirts. If you need those ahead of time, please reach out to me. This will all be in the email, but please reach out to me if you need a shirt ahead of time. I will be bringing extras. But make sure you're wearing your volunteer clothes. Make sure you have a jacket if it's chilly, a rain jacket just in case it rains. It's springtime, so it could very well rain. Sunscreen, bug spray, anything like that that you'd like to make sure you have. Just make sure you bring it with you so that you're prepared for whatever might happen that day.
Just looked it up. It could change, but as of now, a low of 65, high of 79,
Okay.
with some potential rain. So at least it's warm. But yeah, please bring the gear that you need: rain boots,
Poncho.
umbrella, rain jacket, and I always recommend dressing in layers because sometimes it starts off cold and gets warmer. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah. Oh, we
and a
didn't
water
talk
bottle.
about this.
We'll have
Yes,
water,
we
but
just
you might want to just bring your own if you want.
that was the other thing I was going to add. We didn't mention in here. Again, it will be on the run of show, but there will be some sort of food and drink served and a break provided for volunteers. So you're always welcome and encouraged to bring extra snacks if you'd like them, because we can really give breaks depending on, when the event allows us to, based on how busy we are. But there will be something provided for everybody if you would like a snack.
Okay. All right, I think I've stopped remembering things. I think we got everything now. Thank you guys so much. This is our first off-site One Health of the year. We've been at this location before, but this is kind of the kickoff of these for the year. So even if it's a little bumpy, I appreciate all your help. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. And thank you guys. Hope you have a great night.